Hi, I'm Carrie, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a hashtag, I forgot what it's called. One Deck Gone Wild, I think is the proper hashtag. It's the community collab tag for featuring one deck. For those that don't have a big collection or only want to use one deck, and so on. I debated a while about which deck to choose for this because there was several that I wanted to choose. I wasn't sure if we were just supposed to choose a deck that we were just like getting to know, or a deck that we wanted to showcase our love of. I've heard a couple different things said in videos that I watched. So I was going to originally pick the Tarot of Oneness, but then I thought I didn't want to pick an indie deck for those that maybe don't purchase indie decks. Then I was going to do the Dream Keepers Tarot because I just talked about that in my April monthly musings of how much I am loving that deck. But I don't know, my heart drew me to this one, which is the Green Witch Tarot. I know you're probably saying, okay, come on, get on with it. So this is my Green Witch Tarot, and the question number one is, why did you pick this deck? Because I love it. I love it. Let's see, I'm trying to think of how long I've owned it. I don't think that long. Maybe 3 years. I was looking to see what the copyright in the book is. The 7th printing of it was done in 2020, but I've probably only owned it, I would say, oh no, it's got to be longer than 3 years. Maybe 4. I don't know. I love this deck. It doesn't even matter, I guess, how long I've owned it. But I love it. I wasn't sure when I first got it, because I have other, I'm, first of all, let me just say I'm addicted to witchy decks. I don't know what it is. I just am. Do I need all of them? No, but I am. And, but something about this deck, when I started using it and more often, it just really brought out like this magical side in me and helped me see more of the magic in my everyday life, and things like that. And it's a joy for me to work with, and it's one I turn to often. I have to stop myself from pulling this deck because I could use it all day, every day, really. I love it. I love everything about it. No, I'll get to that question. I'll get to that comment about what I don't like about the deck later. So yeah, let's go on to the next question. So the next question is, what are your favorite minors? Like all the threes, all the eights, or I guess, yeah. I don't know. I abbreviated all the questions, so I'm probably not going to say them the right way. Oh, it is what it is. Anyway, I picked the twos. I went through the whole deck and looked at all the minors together, all the numbers together, and this was the ones that I liked the most out of it. One of the other things I think that draws me to this deck, which this is kind of going back to question one, is I like some of this is a fall scene, some of it seems like it's a summer scene. I don't know, it just feels like all seasons in this deck. I don't, maybe that's just me. But anyway, I like the way the twos are portrayed in this deck. That's all I'm going to say about it. The next question I am doing is, what card reminds you to relax? and I picked the Four of Swords. Usually the Four of Swords, you see, someone laying down in a stark bed with the swords all around him or all around them. But this one has this guy who decided to set his swords aside, take his time, lay down under this tree next to a lake, put his hands behind his head, and just chill out for the rest of the day. And I love it. I love this representation of the four. Just taking time out for yourself, just to relax and rest and not think about anything if you wanted to, because the swords are to the side. So putting that all aside and just being in the moment and enjoying the day. So that's why I picked this Four of Swords. The next question that I did was your favorite representation of an insert card here. And I picked the Strength card because, or the Crone, because of the Crone energy with this card. I love this. She's not trying to overpower the lion. The lion and her are kind of one. Her companion, her familiar, I guess, kind of. But she doesn't have to do anything to exert energy or strength over this because it is a part of her. And that comes with the wisdom of the crone energy and the wisdom of, her age, that she knows that she doesn't have to push and pull and force things to happen, then that she has whatever inner strength that she needs to get through things, because she, at the stage that she's in, has been through it all, seen it all in her life, and has taken all those lessons with her. And so that is why I picked this 8, Strength / the Crone. The next question that I did is your favorite representation of the color blue. And I picked the Queen of Cups, although it seems like there's a lot of green happening. But there's the blue and the ocean. It's all about the ocean. That is why I picked this card, is because the ocean is behind her. She's on this rock, even though, some of the ocean is tumultuous out there, it's calm. And yeah, I'm all about this Queen of Cups vibe here, and this card. The next question is, what card shifts your perspective? And I picked this one. I picked Harvest, which is the Judgment card. So I'm going to be right up front and say that I dislike the Judgment card. It is my absolute least favorite card in any tarot deck. I don't know why I have such a resistance to it. I guess that is something I should work through. Okay, so this one doesn't show the angel and the trumpets and all, which I appreciate. It doesn't show all of that. Don't have any issues with angels. Love working with that energy. It's just I can't stand that on a card. I know Judgment is all about the revelations and you're, coming to that aha moment, everything finally clicking together, and basically in a state of renewing your life. And this one, in the book, it talks about reaping a good harvest, but there's also your efforts are finally rewarded for all that work that you've put in. And I kind of like that take on it. It also says about accountability. So, if he wouldn't have tended his crops, or he wouldn't have, worked the farm or whatever, he wouldn't have any of this to share with community or family or whoever. And therefore, would be accountable to them for not having this harvest to put forth on the table. And I really like that energy from this judgment card and the way it's depicted instead of how the other cards are done. If you know a good judgment card in another deck, leave me a comment below and let me know what deck it is. I'll see if I have it, or I'll try to look it up online. So the next question I'm doing is, what card constantly follows you from the deck? And that would be the Queen of Wands. It is about every other reading that I do with this deck. She pops up somewhere out of the blue. And yes, I know it's an energy that I need to sit with and work with because of that. But yes, this is my stalker card when it comes to the Green Witch Tarot. The next question: if you made this deck a meal, what would it be? It would be what's right here on this judgments table or harvest table. It would be something hearty. It would be homemade pies, homemade biscuits, whatever the fresh caught game is or fish for the day. It would be that, fresh vegetables, anything that was, brought in right from the land that, it was grown upon is the meal that I would make for this deck. Nothing processed, nothing overly done, something simple and something rustic. Where does this deck want to go? That's the one I'm going to answer. Where does this deck want to go? I would say that this deck would want to go somewhere over to England, in the somewhere over there. I feel a real draw to there. That's just kind of the energy that I kind of pick up from this deck is, yeah, whoops, I guess I'm off camera. You'd think I just started making videos yesterday. Anyway, but yeah, that's where this would go. We would go to England. The next question is something I would change about this deck, and it is the cardstock. I mean, it's your typical Llewellyn cardstock. I don't mind the glossiness of it. It's so thin, and I like this deck so much. And with the cards being this thin, I don't know how long they're going to hold up. But yeah, if I could have this in a thicker version, I think I would love that. The next question is, which card would you hang on a wall? And that is this gorgeous star card. I am all into the star energy right now. It is just something that I am trying to embrace every day, and then I am trying to keep in my frame of mind, especially with all that I've had going on. And the star, this is a representation of hanging on to that faith and positive energy or unexpected help, optimism, just, good fortune, manifesting your hopes and dreams, all of that. I'm into all of that, all of that energy right now. So this is the card that I would have framed and put on my wall. Next question is, who would you gift a copy of this deck to? I would gift it to everybody, but I would actually gift it to, I think, someone who either maybe has an eclectic witchcraft background, or a green, I guess, a witchy background, or somebody who maybe is starting to be interested in their magical craft or something like that. Just because I don't know, it just has that kind of energy for me. The next question is, what would this deck collect? It would collect crystals, anything from the earth, maybe rocks, holly branches, things like that they could craft from. That's what I could see this deck collecting. The next question is, who is this deck's father? And I didn't necessarily pick these cards because of the meanings of the cards. It was the imagery. So this is actually was my thought process when I read that question and I was flipping through the deck, and I thought, oh wait, because I had picked out several different cards that had more of an older masculine representation on them, and when I came to this one, I was like, this is it. This is the father, but he is retired. And hence him, going off to do his own thing, Mr. Holly King. And he's turning it over to his son to father this deck along with the horned god. That was my thought process to this whole scenario of who the deck's father was. Next question is, what is the gender of this deck? This deck's, I would say, a female. It just has that kind of energy. I mean, there's a nice, I don't know. I guess there's a nice balance between feminine and masculine energy to this deck, but it weighs a little bit heavier on the feminine side for me. But I could be biased. We're down to our last couple questions. Your most favorite card and your least favorite card. I didn't want to pick a card that I had already shown before, because I would pretty much say my most favorite card right now would be the Star, but I picked the Sun because I just think this imagery is it's beautiful. I love clear blue skies and sunny days, and I could see running up the path to this cottage and just taking in this whole atmosphere. And my least favorite card is the World card, and that is because of the big ass snake that is on the bottom of it. It is a black snake. And I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me as a child in regards to a black snake. I have a fear of snakes. I mean, I am like deathly terrified of snakes, period. I can't. So, but as a child, in the neighborhood that I live in, we could ride our bikes to the community pool as children because it was literally 3.5 blocks from our house. So, and there's a lot of trees in our neighborhood that, edge the road, some of them. But I can remember this one day there's multiple roads that can lead us to the community pool up here, but from where we lived, you take the same path all the time. And I remember going down the regular street, and there was 3 grown men. I was probably, I don't know, 11-ish. And there was three grown men standing in the middle of the road with these really long sticks and trying to reach something up in the tree. So I remember stopping because, like I said, they were spread across the road, so I couldn't go around them. I mean, I could have went up on the sidewalk, but I do remember stopping and looking to see what they were trying to get down from the tree. I thought maybe a kid got her ball stuck up there or whatever, but no, it was the biggest black snake I had ever seen in my life. I didn't know snakes could get that big, at least locally. I mean, I know there's the pythons and those kind of things, but I'm talking locally. I did not know a snake could be that big. And this thing was wrapped around that branch. Part of it hung really low. And I just remember being absolutely terrified. So needless to say, I pedaled back up the street and went down another street and went to and I didn't go down that one road for the rest of the summer. I just didn't. So yes, this is why this is my least favorite card. And sorry for that little, side tangent there. And the card that represents you now, and I'm going to re-show the strength card because I am in full-blown crone energy, being in my 50s, and I am really having to lean on that inner strength and that wisdom from lessons in the past. And you get to an age where it's best to just keep your mouth shut instead of engaging in certain things. And so I am in this crone energy right now. Okay, and the last prompt I'm going to do for this tag is pick 3 random cards, and who would you who would you bed, wed, and behead? There, that's a tongue twister. So I will pick, geez, well, I guess we're going to take these ones. So we have the 2 of Cups. We have Harvest, and we have the 6 of Wands. Oh, that's a tough one. Well, I can't stand Judgment, so I'm beheading Judgment. So who would I bed and who would I wed? Oh, I could bed the 2 of Chalices, and I bet that would be a good time. Or I could bed this 6 of Wands who's all ready to celebrate. I'm going to say that I'm going to bed the 2 of Chalices, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to wed the 6 of Wands. That was a tough one, but that was funny. So that is all the prompts I am doing for this tag. Thanks so much to the tarot community for creating this tag. It was fun to do, and it's interesting to see how everybody talks about their single deck instead of multiple decks. I really enjoyed that. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you being here. And if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel immensely. And so until I see you next time, bye.